so angry.
For months, this billet mom raised red flags about a close, controlling relationship coach Bernie Lynch had with a Junior A player who was boarding with her. We're not identifying her to protect the player, whom she says would spend 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, with his then 65-year-old coach, often alone at his apartment.
I felt as though my player was being groomed. I feel like he felt he had no other choice because his hockey career was in the hands of Bernie Lynch.
Lynch's behavior was a big concern in this small town. And in January 2020, parents and billet families wrote a letter to the Western States Hockey League outlining their fears about his relationship with the player. He cries a lot and has slipped into a depression. He refuses to wash his underwear at the billet family's house and takes them with him to Bernie's. These are serious accusations, and we encourage you to please, please investigate further. Please. The letter also said Lynch verbally abused and hit other players, and they felt their complaints to the team owner had led nowhere. In a statement to CBC News, team owner Axel Axman said he spoke to the player in question, who, according to Axman, insisted nothing inappropriate was happening with his coach. The owner also said he spoke to Lynch about his demeanor with players on multiple occasions. Lynch declined an interview but told CBC News the allegations against him come as a surprise and disappointment, and called it a smear campaign. As for the WSHL, it sent the letter to Axman, but didn't appear to take any additional action. In reference to the allegations, Commissioner Ron White told CBC News, should someone have credible facts backed up by proof, then someone has been sitting on that proof.
It shouldn't happen.
That response isn't good enough for the parents who came forward.
The WSHL needs to speak up. They need to be accountable for this, and so does the Edson Arrows. He's hurt a lot of people, and it's got to stop.
But Lynch didn't stop at Edson. When the season ended in March 2020, the coach left town, onto another team.
So, Jonathan, just listening to this, did anyone in Edson look into Bernie Lynch's background when they hired him as coach?
Well, Axel Axman, the team owner, says the Arrows did their due diligence when they were hiring Lynch. They had the RCMP run a background check and reached out to the most recent team he had worked for. And Axman told us that Lynch was forthcoming about a police investigation into his conduct in the late 1990s, which looked into allegations that he had had an inappropriate relationship with a young player in Saskatchewan, but didn't result in any charges. And they made the decision to go ahead and hire him.
All right. Thank you, Jonathan. That's Jonathan Gatehouse from the CBC News Investigative Unit.